Adequate preparation can help you to realise the benefit of a two-way dialogue with your audience on social media and ensure you remain compliant at the same time. If you get your community management right, it helps you to encourage conversation, which helps to increase sharing and reach of your campaign. It enhances the experience for your target audience if comments are handled in a timely and appropriate manner, and it helps to gather learnings and spot potential issues. Before you run your paid campaign, there are 5 steps that help you be prepared for questions and comments that might come through. We look at these steps in depth in the social media strategy and planning course, but to recap, these include: know who is responsible. Ensure you know who's going to be responsible for comment monitoring, including adverse event monitoring and reporting. You will also need to ensure that they've been trained on the process ahead of the live date of your campaign. If you know your company already has a team, for example an in-house team or a specialised agency, contracted to support with comment monitoring, make sure you check that they will cover paid campaigns and that they have capacity to support with your campaign. You might find they only do the monitoring of organic content, or they do not have the capacity for your campaign and you need to contract your agency to support. Remember that agencies usually include weekday monitoring only, so if your company requires weekend monitoring of social content, make sure this is covered in your agency contract. Develop pre-approved scenario planning. This involves working out hypothetical questions you think might appear on your ads and developing responses for these. This way you're able to get these responses pre-approved by your company so they can be posted in real time. Develop a decision tree. A decision tree outlines how you will handle key issues or topics that might arise in your content. For example, how you will manage mentions of prescription medicine, classes of treatment, or competitor mentions. This empowers your community manager to be able to take action quickly after reviewing a comment, rather than needing to work out what to do when the comment arises. You also need to document key contacts to go with this. You should have key contacts for both your company and your agency who can be reached for escalation. You'll also want to have a crisis plan in place. This means you know what constitutes a crisis and what to do in the first 5 minutes, including who should be contacted. And finally, you need to get the scope, tools, and resources in place. Make sure your agency is contracted to support if needed and that the scope reflects the requirements. There are some additional considerations that are specific to running a paid social campaign. The first is expect more comments. If your content is being promoted, it's been seen by more people, so it's more likely you're going to receive comments than on your organic content alone. So you should be prepared with enough resources to review and action these comments where necessary. This includes both your agency's time, but also ensuring someone is available on your side if a comment needs to be escalated for further action. Make sure your agency has the right level of access. If you require your agency to monitor and reply to comments that come through on your ads, make sure they have the right level of access to post replies. Advertiser access may not be sufficient for this. Large campaigns benefit from social media management tools. If you're running a larger campaign with many ads, monitoring comments quickly becomes challenging and it increases the likelihood of missing a comment. Social media management tools can help to ensure that comments are being tracked and responded to. Consult with your agency to see what they plan to use, or if your company already has a social media monitoring tool, check the license covers monitoring for paid ads too. There are some extra actions you can take to manage comments when running paid. Given you are running paid media, if you receive any negative or unfavourable comments, there are additional options available to you. Like you can plan to pause the media spend on the ad where the negative comment has appeared, to prevent further visibility of the comment. You can see if the comments only appear on certain types of targeting, and then you could update the targeting to remove those aspects or focus on other audiences. You could also see if there's trends in the comments and then adapt your messaging to address these to prevent further negative or unfavourable comments, and also helping to make your creative more effective. Some social networks also allow you to turn comments off on your ads, reducing the need for monitoring. But remember, there are many benefits to a two-way dialogue with your audience, and people like to be able to interact with your content on social. So don't act too hastily and think carefully about whether turning comments off is the right approach for your activity. At the end of this section, you'll find an ebook which tells you which social networks allow you to turn comments off on your ads.